Hey there, folks. I'm Tyra, 33, female. Reading and listening to the stories on here always gives me goosebumps because you all are going through it, I swear. I was thinking about whether or not I should post a story, and I thought, why not? Because it's really wild and hilarious now that I think about it. I love telling this story to people because it's so freaking wild-like. Okay, let me get into it. Like I said, I'm Tyra, and I'm happily married to the love of my life, Hunter. Him, who's 34. We tied the knot when I was 31 after waiting for what felt like forever. You know how it goes. You meet someone special and you just know they're the perfect fit for you. Well, that was Hunter for me. We loved each other deeply and we vowed to take care of each other through thick and thin. Hunter had been through a failed marriage before and he promised himself he'd only go for things he truly loved from then on. Lucky for me, that was me. So life was pretty fantastic for us. I was spoiled and he was loved. Even with my in-laws, Olive and Craig, things were peachy at first. They adored me and I felt like I hit the jackpot in the in-law department. But then, like a switch flipped, things took a sharp turn during our second year of marriage. I'll never forget our second anniversary dinner where all the crap truly started. Olive was giving me the evil eye throughout it all, and Craig, well, he was acting strangely around me. Now, I'm not one to dwell on weird vibes, but something was definitely off that night. As the evening wound down, Olive pulled me aside, looking all kinds of pissed. I had a feeling this wasn't going to be a pleasant chat, and boy was I right. Tyra, we need to talk now. Sure, what's going on? You're an awful wife, Tyra, a terrible one. What? Olive, why would you say that? What did I do? Don't play dumb with me, Tyra. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Olive, I really don't. Can you please tell me what's bothering you? Oh, okay, so you're sticking with the dumb act. Not very ladylike of you, Tyra. I thought you were classy, but turns out I was wrong. You disgust me. Olive, please, let's sit down. I think you've had too much to drink. Don't touch me. You tried to act all cute and innocent, but I know the real you. With the way you were looking at me all night, I just know that you're guilty. I was only looking at you funny because you were looking at me funny. What's with you? Stop pretending, Tyra. You know what you did, and it's unforgivable. After Olive's angry outburst and her walking away, I felt really confused and hurt by her accusations. Accusations that I didn't even understand. I mean, how could I? I had no idea what I had done to make her so pissy. As the days passed, things just seemed to get worse. Olive's behavior stayed cold, and she never missed an opportunity to remind me how awful I was as a wife and as a person. It was really getting to me, and I couldn't take it anymore. I realized it was time to talk to Hunter and let him know what was happening. I hadn't told him earlier because I didn't want to make him upset, but now it was clear that Olive's actions were bothering me. So one evening, I sat Hunter down and finally told him everything. I explained how Olive had been sending me rude messages and treating me poorly, making me feel like an outsider in my own family. Hunter was really angry, like he looked like he was gonna murder someone. He was furious with his mom for how she had treated me. It was clear that he wasn't going to tolerate anyone mistreating me, and I felt relieved knowing that he had my back. Tyra, I'm not going to stand by and let my mother treat you this way. I'm going to talk to her and make her come clean about everything. Whatever rumors she's heard or whatever's bothering her, she needs to get it off her chest. If not, she can just shut the hell up. Thanks for standing up for me, babe. It means the world to me that you've got my back through all of this. Thank you. Hunter had taken a stand and confronted his mother about her behavior, but instead of things improving, they seemed to get worse between Olive and me. Olive seemed to think that I was abusing Hunter's love for me, making him my lackey or my simp, as the kids say. which couldn't have been further from the truth. One day, Hunter called his mother over so we could all sit down and have an open conversation about what was going on. He asked her flat out what her problem was, and Olive replied that she didn't want to tell him because she didn't want to break his heart. Hunter was growing weary of the back and forth, so he finally told his mother that he was happy with me, and if she couldn't be happy with him, then she was welcome to leave. To everyone's shock, she actually did. Olive was the type to pamper and spoil her children, so seeing her leave was truly surprising. Despite all the confusion and hurt, Hunter stood firm in his decision. He said that he would always have my back, and he couldn't understand why his mother was acting so weirdly. It was a tough time for sure, but knowing that Hunter was by my side through it all made it a little easier to bear. After that fight, it felt like ages since Hunter and I had heard from Olive and Craig. We were both standing our ground, and to be honest, it was Olive and Craig who needed to come to us and apologize for everything. A couple more months went by, and out of the blue I received a text from Olive. She said she was tired of playing nice with me and dropped the false accusation. She claimed to have it on good authority that I was cheating on Hunter. When I read that accusation, my blood boiled. Without Hunter knowing, I decided to call Olive, hoping we could finally straighten things out. It was time to confront this head on. I need to know where you're getting all this from. Tell me now. You don't get to make demands here, Tyra. I've heard you've been sleeping around with random old men all over the city, and you have the gall to yell at me? Pathetic. What? This is completely not true. I love Hunter. Who's been spreading these lies about me? I can't reveal my sources, Tyra. I promise not to. That's BS, Olive. None of this is true, and you know it. I'm telling Hunter everything. That's when she really upped the crazy. Tyra, if you tell Hunter anything about this, I swear to God I'll kill you with my cold, dead hands. Don't tell Hunter anything. I mean it. Why wouldn't I tell my husband about his crazy mother and her obsession with trying to break us up? I mean it, Tyra, if you don't want to see my bad side. He wouldn't believe those lies anyway. Tyra, his last relationship ended because of something similar. It's a trigger, a sore spot for him. Even if he had his doubts, it could still deeply affect him, and I'll be damned if I let you break my baby's heart all over again. Damn. Hunter told me that things ended with his ex because of cheating, but he didn't go into as much detail as Olive did, saying that the old situation was eerily similar to these rumors about me, like it was a pattern. It was a couple of months before Hunter and my 3rd anniversary celebration, and we were in the middle of making plans and getting excited, just like we always did. But something was off with Olive and Craig. I mean, other than their usual weirdness ever since this horrible rumor about me was going around, apparently, they were acting extra weird around us, especially me. Hunter even threatened to disinvite them from the anniversary dinner if they didn't stop their antics. Surprisingly, Olive agreed to back off, for the sake of keeping the peace, claiming she'd stop harassing me. However, I couldn't let it go. I needed to get some clarity and maybe more information about what had been going on. So I decided to confront Craig, who was usually the quiet type, often letting Olive take control of everything. Hey, Craig, can we talk for a minute? Hey, and sure. What's on your mind, kiddo? I've been really confused about something, and I thought maybe you could help shed some light on it. Uh-huh. Well, it's about Olive and the rumors she's apparently been hearing around town. Do you know anything about it? Oh, Tyra, you know how Olive can be. I usually just follow her lead in these matters. I don't really know anything about it, I promise. Craig, please, I need your help here. I know you know more. I just want this to stop. These rumors are hurting me, and I don't want to keep hiding things from Hunter. If you know anything, or if Olive has mentioned anything, please just tell me. I'm sorry, Tyra, but I truly don't know anything. I swear it. You have to believe me. We went back and forth for a bit. I even asked him why he was so willing to treat me like crap and distance himself from me just because his wife was giving me the cold shoulder. For me, that was such a cowardly move, especially coming from a man. But he kept dodging and not giving me straight answers. It was a strange interaction, and I couldn't understand why he reacted that way. It wasn't until a couple of weeks later, as we were preparing for the anniversary dinner, that something clicked. I found Craig in the kitchen talking to someone on the phone, and my intuition told me to eavesdrop. What I overheard left me utterly shocked. "Don't worry, she'll come around soon. Yeah, it won't be long. Of course I'll send the pictures. I always got you covered. I swear these girls are different nowadays. Now they all believe in feminism and not putting it out anymore. That same bullcrap has gotten into Olive's head. No. But this one is different. I know, I sound crazy, but Hunter doesn't even deserve that." Putting two and two together, it became clear to me that Craig was talking about me to some random guy on the other end of the line. What was worse, it seemed like he was trying to exploit me in some way. He mentioned, "She's already talked to me about it, and you know what that means. It's not long until they start to rely on me for help." My heart sank as I got the sense that he intended to take advantage of this vulnerable situation I was going through and possibly make a move on me. Disgusting. He could literally be my father. Even though I didn't have all the pieces of the puzzle, I knew something fishy was going on, but I was too scared to discuss it openly. I was still so confused about everything, and I didn't even know who was behind starting these rumors in the first place. The day of our anniversary dinner finally arrived, and things got rolling. I was feeling uneasy, but I tried my best to enjoy the day. I wanted to stay on everyone's good side and avoid Olive and Craig as much as possible. But they weren't making it easy. Olive kept finding ways to get under my skin, and Craig was giving me these creepy smiles. It was just weird. Then, during the event, Olive surprised everyone by bringing out what she called a special guest. Turns out she had hired a family counselor to expose my true colors and said it was time for everyone to come clean. Hunter got angry and started yelling at his mother. "Mom, what the hell is all this? Why did you bring a family counselor to our anniversary dinner?" "Hunter, baby, I'll come clean. I haven't been a good mother to you lately. You see, I've been hiding a secret for too long. It's time for everyone to come clean. I thought you'd handle it better than this." "I swear to God, if this has anything to do with Tyra..." "Of course it does. It has everything to do with Tyra." "Mom, we talked about this. Why are you doing this?" "Because you need to know the truth." "What truth? And why did you wait until our anniversary dinner to drop this bomb?" "Well, to be honest, it's because I hate Tyra, and I wanted to embarrass her in front of everyone. What better way than on your anniversary? That's when I had to step in, because I don't play when it comes to my baby. Hunter, if your mother was a good mother, she wouldn't do this to you. What about protecting his feelings, Olive? Huh? When you didn't want to tell him the truth because you cared about his feelings. Forgot all about that? That's why the counselor is here, dimwit, to help with all of that. Are you sure you don't need a straitjacket or something? You're crazy, and your husband has been acting weird, too. Craig? Me? Yes, you. And I don't know what's with you two, but I'll agree with you on one thing, Olive. All of this needs to stop today. I'm sick of these rumors, and I'm sick of being treated like crap. Somebody, please explain what's going on." I looked at my beautiful husband and began revealing everything I knew. I was sick of the lies and games. I just wanted everything to be over. It had been a long year, and I was tired of the drama. "Hunter, there's something you should know." I started talking about everything to everyone. I mentioned how Olive told me about the rumors after I basically had to squeeze it out of her. I talked about the constant bullying and harassment, and even talked about how creepy Craig was behaving. And finally, I revealed. A couple of weeks ago, while we were prepping for today, I overheard Craig talking to someone on the phone, and it sounded really suspicious. "What the hell are you talking about? Don't drag me into your shit just because you're the one who's being accused of cheating." This This is all so crazy. Tyra, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you need to leave my husband out of it. Here, I recorded parts of the conversation. At this, I made sure to be looking directly into Craig's eyes, and he looked like he had just been caught stealing cookies from the cookie jar, while everyone else paid attention to the recording. Soon enough, they heard dear old Uncle Grandpa Craig sounding like a completely different person on the phone, talking about exposure and blackmail, and how Olive doesn't put out anymore. It was disturbing, to say the least, and often I'm not the one to get messy and expose people. But one thing's for certain, if you go low, I'll always go lower. After hearing the recording, Olive demanded to know what Craig was talking about, but he just started stuttering and stammering. The family counselor looked horrified and utterly lost for words, which made the whole situation even more uncomfortable, because it's like, hello, do your job. Craig, on the other hand, began to yell at me, accusing me of invading his privacy and claiming that she had no right to record anything because people wouldn't understand the context. Hunter, however, intervened, as always, and told Craig that he had an opportunity to clear his name if he could make sense of all of this. But Craig was struggling with his words and only seemed to dig a deeper hole for himself. Olive, growing increasingly frustrated, realized that her husband didn't find her attractive, which added another layer of tension to the already explosive situation. Craig, what the hell? Olive doesn't put out any more? Are you kidding me? I can explain. Like hell you will. Will you also explain that it was you who was giving me all this information about Tyra? What? Yep. Tell them, Craig. Tell them how you told me the rumors literally 1 year ago. What? Craig, you lied to my face after I asked you for help to clear my name? Tell me where you heard that crap from right now. Well, you see, the thing is... Spit it out, old man. You seem to be the common denominator in all of this, so please, what the heck is going on? All right. It's time I come clean. It was me. It was you what? It was me who started all the rumors. None of it is true. I made it all up. I swear to God it felt like I was in some soap opera, because this couldn't be real, could it? How could my father-in-law make up such ridiculous rumors? It was me and a buddy of mine who made up those rumors about Tyra. We wanted her to become insecure and eventually depend on me, hoping she'd start doing, sexual favors. Olive was seething. She got up and slapped Craig hard across the face, leaving a bright red mark. I didn't even have enough time to react, so that when I noticed that Hunter's chair had fallen over, I looked over at him and noticed that he was being held back by some of his friends. This man was going to fight his father. But I was also furious, of course, and I did my best not to cry from the humiliation and frustration. You're absolutely disgusting. Are you joking right now? You need serious help if you think this kind of behavior is even remotely normal. How could you? What the hell is wrong with you? Oh God, I married a monster. What do you have to say for yourself, huh? You freaking perv. I don't ever want to see you again. I know it was wrong. I messed up big time. Messing up doesn't even begin to cover it. You betrayed your own family, Craig. Messing up is breaking a plate or forgetting your appointment, not freaking plotting to ruin someone's life for a year. You truly are a terrible human being, and now everyone can see it too. Craig attempted to explain himself, blaming his messed up mindset on childhood trauma, but nobody in the room was buying his excuses. He tried to justify his actions by saying he'd tried to stop, which just made me even angrier. I couldn't believe he was willing to cause all this trouble, but did not have the decency to follow through with it. Olive kept slapping at Craig, and eventually someone had to pull her away. She was a sobbing mess. Despite all the turmoil she'd put me through, I couldn't help but feel some sympathy for my mother-in-law. I mean, being married to someone like Craig for all those years must have taken a toll on her sanity. And to be honest, Perhaps this was her karma for not being as inquisitive about these rumors that were coming out of nowhere. Hunter, getting angrier by the minute, told Craig to leave before he called the police. Craig tried to beg and plead, but no one in the room was willing to entertain his pleas any longer. The damage was done, and his actions had consequences he couldn't avoid. "Please, just hear me out, okay? I see how bad it is now." "Oh, now you're growing a conscience? After planning for a year? You're unbelievable." "I was weak. I'm sorry." "Are you kidding me? Do you know how messed up it is for a father-in-law to be obsessed with his daughter-in-law and try to exploit her? And take advantage like that? You're a sick man." "You've ruined our family, Craig. There's no coming back from this. How could you do this to us? To me?" "Get out, Dad. Go away. We don't want you here." Craig looked like he was on the verge of breaking down, but when Hunter threatened to call the police, he finally left. The dinner was super awkward after all that drama, and even the family counselor seemed shocked by what went down, even revealing that this is one of the biggest plot twists he's experienced in his career. Hunter and I hugged each other tightly, and he told me I should have told him everything sooner. I admitted I should have trusted him with it all, and I promised to do so from now on. Olive looked pretty down and said sorry to me for being so mean. Although it was going to take some time to truly get over it, I realized that she was just trying to protect her son. So I accepted her apology. It seemed like everyone was finding some peace except for disgusting old Craig, of course. A few months had passed since all that drama. Olive was going ahead with her divorce plans, trying to put her life back together after being with such a man. Hunter was working on updating his will. He wanted to make sure Craig wouldn't get a penny from his inheritance. It was a decision he'd been thinking about for a while, considering everything, and now he was taking action. As for me, Tyra, Craig kept bombarding my phone with texts begging me not to sue him and saying he was sorry. I had threatened to sue for slander at some point because I was just too hurt. Honestly, I was too disgusted to reply to any of it. Hunter, on the other hand, was being incredibly supportive. He apologized for his dad's awful behavior and was there for me in every way possible. Our relationship was stronger than ever. Olive was trying to move forward and heal from the whole ordeal, but it was a tough journey for her. The scars from the past were still there, and it wasn't easy. Again, karma. As for Craig, he was pretty much an outcast in the family, with some of the news spreading to his workplace. After getting kicked out of the house, he was living in seedy motels, a far cry from his previous life. But it was all self-inflicted, and he shouldn't be mad at anyone but himself.